Hello and welcome to another episode of the Classical Republican. Today I'm in Lima, Montana, United States of America, and I am here for a memorial for two people who were very special to my family. It's my wife's grandparents, the Hoadleys. And they were very good people, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them in a little bit of a classical Republican, give you a little bit of a classical Republican analysis too of their lives. So first off, right behind me is the Lima Peaks, and that building right there that you can see over my shoulder is a Masonic hall. Doesn't really have much to do with the Hoadleys, but back in the 19th century, this was a railroad town, so that brought a lot of people here. And to organize in a civic manner, they would have lodges, and that is the Masonic Lodge right there. So the Hoadleys were born in the late 20s. So they lived into their 90s. I got to tell you about Louis Hoadley, born and raised nearby here. They got married very young. Louis was in the military. Served in, he's one of the last of the great generation. The greatest generation. That's what they're called. He fought in World War II. And so he was in Navy Seabee, and he built all kinds of things in Hawaii, China, and the Philippines. And when he came back, he worked for the railroad here in Lima, and then he actually I don't think a lot of people, it wasn't mentioned today, but he actually was in public service. He was elected as an alderman. That's like a city council, and so he actually and I actually admire his service because he actually resigned early, and for an admirable reason. He was at a meeting and asking a lot of questions about the budget, which is the city council or aldermen need to know what's going on and be able to provide that check on the mayor. The mayor got upset with all his questions and said, you need to pass that budget, and stop asking your questions. So he got up and he left, and he never went back. So it's a good kind of stubborn, I guess. But yeah, I mean, you got to stand up for those checks and balances. He did it, but that was the end of his public service, in elected office. But he did a lot of other public service with veterans groups. His wife did a lot with. Damaris did a lot with the local history, and even published a book, had a newsletter, great stuff. She was also the lunch lady at the school for decades. And they also helped to provide wood for everybody. Went up in those hills right behind me and brought wood back for everybody. And so they had 4 children, 10 grandchildren, and 35 great-grandchildren. So those are the type of people you need for when you're going to build a Republican type of society. Until next time, long live the Republic.